Phil? Okay. We're talking today about something that could change the face of humanity as we know it. Perhaps even on a more galactic level, we can actually solve some problems of the universe as opposed to the Earth. As you know, man has continually been improving on the computer, trying to make it more like the human brain, being in a binary code. My idea is not binary, trinary, which, Mathis, I think you said people have already tried it.
IBM, yes, they manufactured a processor that uses quantum bits.
Hogwash. Hogwash. IBM knows nothing. I got all the answers right here, obviously, if you just look around. But look around, person. Good enough. Okay. Now, IBM's on the wrong track. They're trying quantum bits and trying to complicate the process. Look, it's very simple. The computer runs on binary, zeros and ones. Everything's a zero or it's a one. My computer will run on zeros, ones, and minus ones. Because obviously we have forgotten the negative out there in the galactic universe. It's important, yeah, thanks for the Pam, it's important to know that if you take an atom and you try to combine it with something else, you're going to get more positives. But what if you take that atom away from something that you're dealing with? You're going to have negatives. Thusly, we're going to build the computer CPU, the processing unit, the brain of the universe, with ones and zeros and minus ones. These minus ones will be derived from negative emotions. I'm sure that's the answer. We don't know how it works yet, but that's how the human brain works. Obviously, no computer has competed has been able to beat the human brain. Sure, it can compete mathematically or whatever, or try and function faster or whatever. Forget it. The human brain can come up with something random like an idea or a thought process that the computer just can't figure out how to do. It's because the computer is not using negative ones. We in our body have atoms and molecules that are flowing in positivity and zero-ness, but we also have negatives. Am I right, Mathis?
Well, the problem with your theory, no matter how many numbers you use to make a bit for a computer, you still couldn't do that because the human brain isn't limited. You would also have to account for the range in between 1 and 0 and between negative 1 and 0, just like an analog circuit that uses amounts of voltage instead of zeros and ones.
You are absolutely correct. Folks, did you catch that? That was genius at work. This family has genius in it. You're right, Mathis. What we understand now is that the human brain and the thought processes involved are analog, not digital. It's not just 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. It's 1, kind of 1, a little bit towards 0, not all the way 0, maybe a little 0, kind of sort of 1. How about some negative 1 involved? That's where we're going to solve the problems of the universe by our understanding of this process that the brain envelopes and that it does. Okay, Parmesan cheese. Look at Parmesan cheese. Look here. Parmesan cheese would never have existed with just a 1 and 0 universe. There was ones and zeros, and there was also what ifs in here. Somebody was probably trying to make some really decent cheese, and they came up with something. Wait a minute, something probably in Italy. Oh, it smells nasty. Oh, what if we only use it in small quantities and call it a flavor? Oh, now it's Parmesan cheese. You understand?
If you
gotta have the randomness of the whole entire world involved. Go ahead, Matt.
If you could just take a look at my graph here. This graph right here would be the negative one at the highest possible height of this napkin here, of the graph. And then here is the 1, and here is the 0. But as you can see, there's a whole range of other
what
possible
about right
values.
here? Sure.
It's yeah, it could be anything.
Sorry. Yes.
Go,
now, Carson, I'm sure you have something to say about this as well. Go ahead, give us your input on this process. Obviously, Carson is working on the -1. And that shows you the genius
Flaw!
of this
There's
process.
a flaw in your theorem.
What's the flaw in our theorem? I'm not sure where this is going, but I don't want to miss it. What's the flaw in our theorem? It's the random I don't care theory. The random I don't careness of it all.
That's exactly it.
Exactly.
There are thoughts that are positive, thoughts that are negative, thoughts that are neutral, thoughts in between. But you aren't accounting for the thoughts that we don't think.
Oh my God, that's so true. That's it. What about the thoughts that we just don't give a shit about? They're still thoughts.
Like the
we
thoughts
still
that
have
control
them.
your heart.
I know. What about thoughts control our heart? I thought that was just natural without thinking.
Your brain controls it.
There's the guy I don't give a shit. Okay, so now we're on to something. We have the plus, minus, and negative I don't give a shit theory. What about when you give a shit when it really you shouldn't? Like, I love this eraser. I love this pencil eraser. Dude, it's a pencil eraser. Who cares? I love this pencil eraser. You shouldn't give a shit. Carson, your thoughts on that?
Yes, that's called the wrong shape theorem. It was established in China in 1598 BC, around that area. But you know, it's never
Those
really
Chinese
been
are some
tested.
smart motherfuckers.
It's never really been tested.
Wasn't that in the Hong Dynasty?
Yes. That was the Hongs. Yes. They're not very hung anymore.
It's crazy songs.
I have nothing in my camera. Come on.
I just had an I don't give a shit thought.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Look, how about this for randomness, okay? Right now I'm filming Mathis, you see. I'm filming Mathis and I'm going, ooh, something shiny. And then I go back to filming Mathis and I go, ooh, something shiny. But instead of going back to filming Mathis, I go to Carson. Probably should have stuck with something shiny. But that's okay, because that's the way the world revolves. That's the randomness of the -1 and the +1 and the 0. We are on to the answers that people have been asking for years, the questions people have been asking for years. What is the meaning of life? Or what isn't the meaning of life?
Nothing.
Right. Nothing isn't the meaning of life.
See, you just had a double negative thought there.
I know. How do you account for that in a 1 and 0 universe with CPUs? You can't. This is all factors that have to be... Who cares? You know what? Now you know the genius of the stone mind.
Okay, so let me just sum this up what we've got here.
Yes.
We have -1, 2, 1, 0 exactly in the middle, and then a whole range of values between those. But then there's the I don't give a shit thought, which is in B.
Have you ordered
The letter
play
B.
stuff yet?
I'm videotaping, honey.
It's the letter B.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
No, we'll have to watch it again.
Okay.